Welcome to the PortaCount Academy, and thank you for watching ResFit 203 Flash Drive Database Exchange function. My name is John Morton. My email address is john.morton@tsi.com. If you have any questions after this course, please feel free to contact me for help. During this course, we're going to discuss various aspects of database management during standalone operations. That's going to include using the FitPro Software's import and export function, as well as creating and verifying operations of a flash drive database. And we're also going to briefly discuss the file size limitation associated with the flash drive database. Now, during the presentation, you're going to see these arrows appear. The yellow arrow represents a left mouse click with your computer mouse, and the red arrow represents a right mouse click with your computer mouse. You're also going to see this purplish arrow appear. This represents a press on the touch screen of the PortaCount itself. I will forewarn you that many of the screen captures of computers in this presentation are based off of Windows 7. But for those of you running Windows XP or Vista, you should see something slightly different, but it should be for the most part similar. Also, for the remainder of the presentation, I will refer to the PortaCount Pro Model 8030 and PortaCount Pro Plus Model 8038 as simply the PortaCount Pro. So unless I specifically refer to one model or the other, you can just assume that I'm referring to both. For this class, it may be helpful for you to follow along on your computer with a PortaCount Pro unit that is available. So take a moment and make sure that you've got that necessary equipment. Obviously, first off, that's going to be the PortaCount. But we're also going to need to grab the USB flash drive, and one was included with the PortaCount. And then we also need to grab another computer if we're planning to use another computer while this webinar is being presented to follow along with. Now, if you do have another computer available and you're going to follow along on that and it's not already turned on, go ahead and turn that computer on now. Also, we're going to want to go ahead and power on the PortaCount Pro. Then I'm going to have you take the USB flash drive and connect it to an available USB port on your computer. Now, before we go much further, I just want to take a minute and discuss the two terms that you're going to likely hear a lot throughout this lecture. Exporting with the FitPro software can be defined as either creating a new XML database or overwriting a database that already exists. Again, these XML databases exist on the flash drive. Importing is the act of copying data from the flash drive, the XML database, and putting that data into the FitPro software database. Note that importing does not remove data from the flash drive. And we're going to get back to why that's important later on, but it's more of a copy function. Now, via your computer, we want you to open up your Windows Explorer, or also called the My Computer window. Now, this is typically done in one of two ways. Either by double-clicking on the My Computer or computer icon located on your desktop, or by going to your Windows Start menu, usually located in the lower left-hand corner of your monitor screen, and clicking on My Computer or computer listed in the right-hand side. Those of you running Windows XP will see My Computer. Those of you running Vista or 7 will just see the word computer. If you don't see this option here, again, check your Windows desktop. You likely have a My Computer or computer icon there. Now, once we've opened the My Computer window, we might notice that your My Computer window or Windows Explorer looks slightly different than mine, and that's all right. What we're concerned with is verifying, and we should see this listed somewhere, that we have an area that says devices with removable storage. That's going to be your flash drive. And then we want to look for that device specifically, and we see that circled here as cruiser parentheses E:parentheses. Now, the drive letters are designated by the Windows operating system, and these can vary from computer to computer and even from USB port to USB port on the same computer. Again, we see here the drive letter that's been designated is drive letter E, but just know that your drive letter may be different. Once we've confirmed that we are looking at our flash drive, it's been assigned a drive letter like it should have, we can close out of Windows Explorer. Now via your computer, again, we're going to open the FitPro Fit Test software. Again, this is typically done in one of two ways, either by double-clicking on the FitPro icon located on your desktop, or by opening your Windows Start menu, going to All Programs, to TSI Incorporated, and then to the FitPro folder, and then clicking on the FitPro icon as shown here. Now some, but not all of you, may see this window appear, and this window would appear if this checkbox had not been checked. So if you happen to use the same database each time you run FitPro, it may be convenient for you to simply select the checkbox so as to bypass this window in the future. In either case, go ahead and click OK now. Each time you open the FitPro software, you'll be prompted to run the daily checks. But for the purposes of this class, I want you to go ahead and say no. We're not going to run the daily checks at this time. Now we want to click on the database menu across the top of FitPro. Then we want to click on Flash Drive Database Exchange. That should be the very first link found under the database menu. You're going to notice that this window is separated into two distinct sides. On the left-hand side, we see the functions for importing data. Again, importing meaning that it's copying data from the flash drive into the FitPro software. And on the right-hand side, we see the functions for exporting data. Exporting referring to copying data from our FitPro software to the flash drive database. Either creating a new database or, again, we could be overwriting an existing one. Those are the two options with the export database to flash drive. Now, as you take some time to look around this window, you may see some acronyms that you're not familiar with, such as XML and MDF. Now, though these acronyms are not imperative to the everyday use of the PortaCount Pro, I think it's nice to at least understand what they are referencing. The important thing to take away from this slide is that the XML database is the database that is located on your flash drive, while the MDF database is the database that the FitPro software on your computer will use. Again, these terms are not specific to just this software package. These database configurations are used by many other software packages as well. Now, a flash drive that is brand new, or at least one that is new to fit testing, will not come with a PortaCount Pro database installed on it automatically. Obviously, without a database to save data into, we cannot save the data. So that being said, our first priority before we begin fit testing in standalone mode is to create an XML database on that flash drive. And again, the process of creating an XML database on the flash drive is also called exporting. At this point, we're going to walk through the entire exporting process. So if you have not already connected the flash drive to your computer, please do so now. The export function of the flash drive database exchange window is on the right-hand side. First, we want to verify that we are pulling or copying the data, such as the people, Respirator records, from the correct FitPro Software MDF database, circled here in red. If that's correct, then we want to choose where the data is going to be sent, or in other words, where is the XML database going to be created. To do that, we want to click on Browse next to the Destination XML File field. When the Save As window appears on your screen, we want to click on the link for My Computer, or just Computer, usually located on the left-hand side of this window. Then we want to select the flash drive, and again, if you'll remember, in my case, this was drive letter E. It's named Cruiser. Once we have that selected, we then click on Open so that we can create a database in that location. Now at this point, you can enter in a name of your choice in the file name field near the bottom, circled here in red. Now, many people will name their databases according to their location, or if they use a separate database each year, according to year. So in my example, I'm going to use based on location, and I'm going to say Elm Street Staff. Once I've got the name inputted, I can go ahead and click on Save. Note that the destination database for the XML file has been populated with the name and address that we just selected, the E drive elmstreetstaff.xml. So we can go ahead and click on Export Database to Flash Drive, and then once you receive the Successfully Exported window, you can click OK. And we have now exported, or in other words, created a database on the flash drive. So you can go ahead and click on Exit. Now I think a good way to verify that we have actually accomplished creating a database on the flash drive is to simply attach the flash drive to the PortaCount Pro unit and visually confirm that the database is accessible. So if you haven't already done so, please remove your flash drive from your computer and attach it to either one of the two USB ports located on the back of the PortaCount Pro unit. On the touchscreen of the PortaCount Pro, tap on the Database tab located in the middle bottom portion of the screen. Then tap on the Select Database icon. From the Select Database window, we should be able to view all available databases via the drop-down menu across the top. Keep in mind that you can have multiple databases on one flash drive. You would follow these same steps to choose between one database and another. Now in my example, the database name was Elm Street Staff. If you do not see your database listed, or you only see Demo Training Mode, and your flash drive is attached properly, then try tapping on the Refresh button in the upper right-hand corner. Once the appropriate database is selected, you can click on Load. And then once you get the Successfully Loaded Database message, you can click on Exit. Now, for the sake of saving time, we aren't going to go through the process of creating and saving any records to the XML database right now. Instead, to complete the process, we're going to remove the flash drive from the PortaCount Pro unit and attach it once again to our computer. Now we're going to have to use our imaginations here and pretend that we have already gone out and completed our day or week of fit testing. Now we need to take that flash drive and we need to import the data into the FitPro software on our computer. And it's important to note that the main database or the primary method of saving fit test records should be to save them to the FitPro software. We do not want to use the flash drive database as our primary access to the fit test records. Flash drives are designed for temporary storage purposes only. So in order to copy the data from our flash drive into our FitPro software database, we're going to use the import function found within the flash drive database exchange window that we saw previously. So we should still have the FitPro software up on our computer screen. So go ahead and click on the database menu again across the top, and then click on Flash Drive Database Exchange. Now to choose where the data from our flash drive database will be sent, or in other words, which FitPro database the data will be copied into, verify that the destination database selected is correct, circled here in red. Then click on the Browse button associated with the source XML file. And again, we're going to open up the Computer Save As window. We're going to click on the My Computer icon, just like before during the export operations. And again, we're going to select the appropriate flash drive letter. And once that's open, we're going to select the flash drive database in question. Again, in my case, this would be the Elm Street staff. I created this flash drive database through the export function we did previously. I verified that this database existed on the flash drive with the PortaCount. I imagine that I went ahead, I did some fit testing, created some records, and now I want to bring that back into FitPro. So again, we're going to choose that same database, Elm Street staff, and I'm going to click on Open. Now note that the source database has been populated with the name and address we just selected. So go ahead and click on Import Database from Flash Drive. And then once you receive the successfully imported window, we can go ahead and click OK. And we have now imported, or in other words, copied the data from the flash drive database and into the FitPro software database. So you can go ahead and click on Exit. At this point, some of you may want to just confirm that the data was actually brought over into the FitPro software database, and that's fine. If you click on the fourth icon from the left, you're going to open up your Edit Fit Test Table window. Here we can see a listing of all the fit test records which exist in the FitPro database. If you're not sure which FitPro database you are currently in, it is listed across the very top left-hand portion of the software's title bar. Simply use the drop-down arrow to the right and scroll through the list till you find the record in question or the record that you're looking for. Obviously, since we did no fit testing during this course, no fit test record would appear, or no new fit test record would appear. Now, as I said before, the flash drive is really designed to be a temporary storage solution. We should always be bringing that data back into the FitPro software via the import function we discussed earlier. Now, in addition to this, it's important to note that the flash drive database does have a limitation on memory capacity. The database on the flash drive can be no larger than 1 megabyte. And to give you a real-world idea of what that means, it's right around 420 people records and 420 fit test records together. Those amount of records together in one database would equal right around 1 megabyte. So if you happen to have thousands of people lined up outside your door to get fit tested, you will want to use a computer with the FitPro software rather than the standalone mode function. Now, if you do happen to have more than, say, 1,000 employees, and you still want to make use of the standalone flash drive database feature, that's fine. You're just going to need to periodically reset or refresh your flash drive XML database. To refresh the flash drive database, you simply need to walk through the export function described in the beginning of this lecture and choose the same flash drive database. In my example, I would have chosen Elm Street Staff, and I would re-export, overwriting the already existing database. Of course, if there was any new data on that flash drive database, I would want to import first, then re-export, because I don't want to overwrite that data. By refreshing the database as such, we can maintain a minimum amount of memory space used. When we perform the export function, we do not export the fit test table. We only export the people records and the respirator records. Those are brought over into the flash drive database during the export process, but not the fit test records. And that's all right, because the fit test records should be safely in our FitPro database. Now, by overwriting the database, you will be clearing out your flash drive database of any fit test records, which, again, like I said, is no problem, because those, if you had been using the import function, those records already exist in your FitPro database. By overwriting it and clearing out your fit test records, you can help to keep that database size at a minimum. So to summarize what we discussed today, we talked about the flash drive database exchange screen. We went through the exporting function, typically the first function, and then we followed up with the importing function, something we would do after we have new data on our flash drive database. We also talked about a couple of database management issues and the creation of a database through that export function. And we discussed the limitations of a flash drive database and how we can minimize the amount of memory being used by that flash drive database. Now, if you have any future questions on these or other topics related to the PortaCount Pro Respirator Fit Tester or the PortaCount or the FitPro Fit Test software, here are some helpful links for you to have. Again, these webinars are available for download from the PortaCount Academy Online Training Center, and that can be an excellent resource to use. And if you have any questions on these, you can also contact me via email at john.morton@tsi.com. Thank you very much for watching.